Good morning, Michael here, and today we're finishing up with Psalms 2 as we look at the exposition from verse 10 to 12. Let's go ahead and read that psalm again. That's subtitled, The Reign of the Lord's Anointed. Verse 1. Why do the nations rage and the people plot in vain? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us burst their bonds apart and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens laughs, the Lord holds them in derision. Then he will speak to them in his wrath and terrify them in his fury, saying, As for me, I have set my king on Zion, my holy hill. I will tell of the decree. The Lord said to me, You are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will make the nations your heritage, and the ends of the earth your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron, and dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Verse 10. Now therefore, O kings, be wise. Be warned, O rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Verse 12. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way. For his wrath is quickly kindled. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. Oh, beautiful. Let's now look at the exposition from the Treasure of David by Charles Spurgeon. Verse 10. The scene again changes, and counsel is given to those who have taken counsel to rebel. They are exhorted to obey and give the kiss of homage and affection to him whom they have hated. Be wise. It is always wise to be willing to be instructed, especially when such instruction tends to the salvation of the soul. Be wise now, therefore. Delay no longer, but let good reason weigh with you. Your warfare cannot succeed. Therefore desist and yield cheerfully to him who will make you bow if you refuse his yoke. Oh, how wise, how infinitely wise is obedience to Jesus, and how dreadful is the folly of those who continue to be his enemies. Serve the Lord with fear. Let reverence and humility be mingled with your service. He is a great God, and ye are but puny creatures. Bend ye, therefore, in lowly worship, and let the filial fear mingle with all your obedience to the great Father of the ages. Rejoice with trembling. There must ever be a holy fear mixed with the Christian's joy. This is a sacred compound, yielding a sweet smell, and we must see to it that we burn no others upon the altar. Fear without joy is torment, and joy without holy fear would be presumption. Mark the solemn argument for reconciliation and obedience. It is an awful thing to perish in the midst of sin, in the very way of rebellion. And yet how easily could his wrath destroy us suddenly. It needs not that his anger should be heated 7 times hotter. Let the fuel kindle but a little, and we are consumed. O sinner, take heed of the terror of the Lord, for our God is a consuming fire. Note the benediction with which the psalm closes. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Have we a share in this blessedness? Do we trust in him? Our faith may be slender as a spider's thread, but if it be real, we are in our measure blessed. The more we trust, the more fully shall we know his blessedness. We may therefore close the psalm with the prayer of the apostles. Lord, increase our faith. The first psalm was a contrast between the righteous man and the sinner. The second psalm is a contrast between the tumultuous disobedience of the ungodly world and the sure exaltation of the righteous Son of God. In the first psalm, we saw the wicked driven away like chaff. In the second psalm, we see them broken in pieces like a potter's vessel. In the first psalm, we beheld the righteous like a tree planted by the rivers of water. And here we contemplate Christ, the covenant head of the righteous, made better than a tree planted by the rivers of water. For he is made king of all the islands, and all the heathen bow before him and kiss the dust. While he himself gives a blessing to all those who put their trust in him. The two psalms are worthy of the very deepest attention. They are in fact the preface to the entire book of Psalms, and were by some of the ancients joined into one. They are, however, two psalms, for Paul speaks of this as the second psalm. The first shows us the character and lot of the righteous, and the next teaches us that the psalms are messianic, and speak of Christ, the Messiah, the Prince who shall reign from the river even unto the ends of the earth. That they have both a far-reaching prophetic outlook, we are well assured, but we do not feel competent to open up that matter, and must leave it to the abler hands. Yes, quite an awesome psalm. Trust you'll reflect on them both, Psalms 1 and 2, and that you might have enjoyed the meditation. Michael here yet again then declaring, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.